What's going on, guys? So today I am fixing my Microtech Pilot's watch. As I mentioned before, I was just waiting for some tools, which finally arrived. Actually, I'll explain this after I show the watch here. But anyway, so I have this little holder, which is firmly holding the watch. And then I have the wrench, okay, which is adjustable to the case. I replaced the battery, all right? It's a common 2032 cell. Right, actually have packs of batteries, right, just in case. You can get these fairly cheap at some stores, or you can order them online pretty cheap. And the watch is totally fine. It's working great with the new battery in there. So anyway, I'm going to put this back on here. All right, make sure I'm lining up the threads properly. So I'm going counterclockwise first. Make sure this is going to be properly threaded on. All right, which it is. Just want to make sure it's nice and snug. Don't want to use too much pressure. Just like that should be good. All right, so I'm going ahead. I'm actually going to loosen this bottom one first. So I want to actually show you, me putting it back on, so you can see how it works before, actually explaining it. So this little wrench here, okay, obviously has 3 different arms that are adjustable. So the bottom one, you can see, makes this smaller. You turn it the other way, it makes it larger. The top here, there's a wheel, okay, that makes it, wider or smaller. And there comes a bunch of tips on these. So you screw these tips in, and depending on what style of watch case you have, all right, you would get these different tips. All right, it comes with a whole pack of them. All right, so you can line them up. So here's a close-up of this one, which is kind of a square shape. All right, but again, there's a bunch of different shapes. And obviously you're going to get one that matches, the notches that are in your the back of your watch case, all right? So you screw these into your wrench, you line it up on the back. This whole thing here is actually just holding the watch nice and sturdy. It's not totally necessary for this. All right, obviously that's all adjustable and everything. And there we go. So the watch itself, let me wipe off the face here. So the watch itself is totally functional now, just needed a new battery. So I'm very excited about that. I absolutely love my new watch, all right, but this one obviously meant a lot to me, so I'm still going to wear that occasionally. But yeah, this is a very, very straightforward thing. Using this wrench is really, really easy. So now that I'm done, I'm going to open up this little case here and put these tips from the wrench back in there. All right, this is really, really easy. I would highly recommend getting these tools if you actually use maybe more than one watch. The average price for changing a battery out at a jeweler's is like $10. This entire kit was like $17 on Amazon. Now, what I was waiting to tell you is that I bought this kit, all right, and the wrench that came with it was too small because I was not smart enough to read the dimensions. I made an assumption that these wrenches are all the same size, and clearly they're not. All right, so this one, even on its full, max capacity, was not wide enough for the back of my watch. All right, so a huge heads up, if you're gonna get one of these watch repair kits, make sure you read the details and make sure that this is, large enough for the type of watches or the size watches that you're actually gonna be using. I have a bad habit of not wanting to return things, okay? So instead of returning this, I end up just buying another wrench because there's so many other tools in here, to fix all kinds of watch issues. All right, this tool here is for the bands. You can use the screwdrivers and these little pin pushers and stuff. It comes with a bunch of spare, little pins for the wristbands and stuff. It's just an awesome, awesome kit. Even has a little hammer in there. So I would highly recommend these kits. I mean, there's a bunch of them on Amazon. That comes with instructions, very clear to show you how to use the different tools. All right, just to give you an idea here. That's how that holds those bands, so you can push out the pins or you can hammer them out. It's just really, really useful. For $17 or $16, whatever it happened to be, I'd rather do that than have a jeweler do it for $10. I like being self-sufficient. I like being someone who can fix their own problems. So now it's just nice knowing that I can change the batteries out on pretty much any watch as opposed to relying on the jeweler. So I would really recommend getting one of these kits. All right, and doing it yourself. Really, really simple. I will say that this extra wrench, all right, because this is a little bit bigger, this one I want to say was around $15 or so. It was almost the same cost as another kit. So you can buy this full kit with the larger wrench. Obviously, you know, a lot of guys wear much larger diameter watches. You know, I just don't like returning things, and everything else in here is very useful, so I figured out what the heck, I might as well just buy an extra wrench separate. I didn't need an extra whole kit, even though it was only a couple dollars more. But yeah, thumbs up to that. So this is a little PSA to remind everyone to read. I know you guys are probably good at that, but occasionally I am guilty of just making assumptions. In this case, it was very much a wrong assumption that this would fit. So as you can imagine, when I got the kit in the mail a couple days ago, I was really excited about it. Went to go adjust it for the watch, and I'm like, oh no, this does not get big enough. And then of course I re-looked at the listing and then read, you know, the parameters of millimeters that, you know, it does for different watches. I'm like, I was so bummed. And then immediately just ordered this wrench and figured, you know what, that's fine. Now I have a ton of options. So if you are into different types of watches and you don't already fix your own, I would highly recommend it. I would also recommend getting a bunch of different these, you know, button cells, so you always have them. You never know. All kinds of random electronics need button cells. You know, stock up on these and get one of these kits, you know. It's a really, really cool savings. Like I said, a little bit more than going to get a jeweler to replace it, but I can do this countless times and I don't have to worry about bringing it anywhere. I can do it myself. Now, even though I do have these kits, there's multiple tools here to, you know, pop the backs off that are press fit. One thing I don't have in this kit is one of those watch presses. All right, you can get them as cheap as like maybe $25 or so, and of course, the better the quality, the more expensive. I might eventually get one of those because obviously if you're gonna pop a back off, you wanna be able to put it on properly. It'd be silly to have all these different watch tools and then just be, you know, cracking the, the front of it, trying to press it on with my fingers. So maybe that's a worthwhile investment. Like I said, it's under $30 for a cheap one. But besides that, I can do a lot of different things now, which is very cool. So very happy to have my watch back, A+. I did have someone, after I mentioned it, talk about one of these kits, asking about it. Again, there's a bunch of different kits from different sellers. They have a variety of minute changes. Some have different types of holders. Some have, again, different size wrenches. Look at the details. It's very important to read each individual thing, really think about what you're going to need it for, and of course buy the appropriate kit for you. But they're all very affordable, around $15 to $20. And again, stocking up on these button cells is always a good idea. The 2032 seems to be a very, you know, common size for watches. But anyway, that's it for now. Let me know what you guys think. If you use one of these kits and have for many years, if you have any tips or anything, of course, you can post that down in the comments as well. But that's it for now, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.